How's it going? McAllister with Toasty DIY, and today I'd like to challenge myself to learn more about the program Blender. So some of you may know what Blender is. It's a program that allows you to do 3D animation, video editing. It's really just like an all-in-one free software out there, and it's super powerful, and I see a lot of people use it in VFX and special effects and things like that, and I want to have a better grasp of it. I really look up to Node and Corridor Digital. I really enjoy their content, and they do a lot of VFX stuff, and I'm not called to do that very often here at my job at Toasty Bros. So I thought maybe I'll just go ahead and explore. This week Matt has been out, so I've been having a lot of free time, and I have been practicing Blender for maybe the last 2 weeks. So today's the day that I try to take my accumulated knowledge of modeling and create a basic, hopefully, commercial, I think is what I want to do. So that being said, I have to decide on a product, and the one thing I see all the time when I looked up Blender commercials just to try to get an idea of what does, the things I see often are liquid sims and cans, like for Prime energy drink or alcoholic beverages, whatever it is. And so I think I'm gonna make either find a funny fake drink label to use, or just snag one and make a impromptu fake commercial for maybe like Liquid Death or something like that. So I thought that this would be a fun video to see how far I can get. I decided to do this about 5 minutes ago. It is 10:20 and I want to be done with this commercial, or at least a couple shots from it by, 3. I don't think that's that hard. I mean, I've seen people make more impressive commercials in less time, but it may come down to rendering. Who knows? I'm looking for just like 2 or 3 shots, and I'm not looking for them to be perfect. If I don't give myself a time limit, I'll never get it done. So the shots I'm looking for are that kind of basic shot of it, the drink flying in, either dropping into liquid or just showing there immediately. So I want to have hopefully a scene set up where I can have it sat maybe on a kitchen table. I'm going to go ahead and make some notes here. So I think my first shot, I want to be something like that with a can sliding across the table from the outside. So that nice satisfying sound. Can lands here, illuminated by a light that hopefully is practical and above it. That'd be nice. That would be the goal. The second shot, I don't know how we're going to transition to it. I imagine I'm just going to use a zoom blur, so I'll just go ahead and write that down. However, I am worried that I might set a precedent here, so I might remove the fake kitchen, because if I set the precedent that I'm going to do a fake kitchen, I have to model a fake kitchen or find one. And then I also don't know how I'm going to then get us from there to a graphic, like still shot of it in the background. I might have to look at some Apple commercials, see how they do it. Next, I'd like to have a shot of, I love these flourish effects like they do for Apple iPhones, like when they're like, comes in 6 different colors, and they have them expand out. I want to try to do a flourish with just maybe 3 cans. We're going to try 3 cans. I don't know how to do it, so we're just going to hope I can figure out a way. I want a shot of essentially a zoom in on this single can and frame the camera in a way that when we zoom in on that single can, you cannot see the other 2 behind it, and then they will like peek out from behind. I might actually have them connect. So that'll be that shot. And then the last shot will be, I don't know what capacity, but a cool final shot I think would be like Liquid Death or something like that with water. And I've never done Liquid Sim, but I'm hoping we can figure it out. Something where the last shot is these all fly out, and then in comes our logo, followed by a can, that open sound, and then it pouring on top. I don't know if y'all have been to like AMC theaters, but that intro where they have like that really satisfying Coke and ice drop in, and then you hear like the sizzle of it filling and then being drank, and the sound of the popcorn filling. That render always I found really satisfying and makes me really hungry. Well done, theaters. So we've got our shot. First one, I want a basic fly across coming into shot, focusing on it, kind of maybe like a snap noise as it goes into this fly out with a graphic in the background or a light box, flourish of 3 cans. And then I want a liquid sim of me maybe pouring the name, the liquid over a solid form of the name. Maybe it'll be like a ice sculpture if I can get that material, but I doubt I'll be able to figure that out. So at most, we're going to try to get the 1 shot done. I don't know how much you can get done in Blender in 3 hours, but set the goals high and let's see where we land. I'm most interested in this liquid shot with the liquid sim, but I don't know how to do that, so I'll figure it out. So I'll just write down liquid sim. And I also have to do another ad for a different company today, but I think that'll take like an hour. So I think I'll be good because Zach's filming the voiceover. So join me as I fail or accomplish this in grand or awful fashion. Well, hey there, it's been a little bit. I did end up finishing that render. I forgot to make a video that day of because I finished it right maybe about 30 minutes after work, so a little bit 30 minutes after my timer. But honestly, offset that with the time I spent working on another ad. So with that all being said, I didn't get exactly what I wanted, and I didn't expect I would. I tried to set some high goals for what I wanted, and then I came out to find out what I could achieve. So the practical kitchen shot did not work. You'll see here that I'm modeling and attempting to model a can, and I think I pull some things on screen. I can't model a can. It just turns out not something in my wheelhouse, but I didn't want to stop, so I wanted to try to move closer. So the best thing I could do was find a thing on Sketchfab. The problem really with making the can was modeling it was not too horrible. I didn't need to show the top or the bottom, but getting that like material and making it look like a liquid death can, which was initially what I wanted to do, I don't know how to do that. I just couldn't figure out how to paint on a texture. How do I find that wrap of the liquid death can to put around this model? I just could not figure it out. So using this beer, I just decided we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's get this slide-in shot. And you'll notice that really I looked up what sells this as a good commercial, and people said condensation. So I had to fidget around a ton trying to find anything that would allow me to do this condensation, and it found a plugin that allowed you to do it geometry nodes. So I went ahead and got this condensation on that can, and I completed my first shot of the can kind of sliding in with that across the table. And that shot didn't turn out too bad in my opinion. There were things that could be better, but you know, I had 5 hours and low knowledge, so we moved on to the second shot, in which I decided to put together the flourish shot and the liquid sim into one because I was running out of time. And so the shot involves the cans kind of moving out of the way of each other, show, you know, oh, all these different cans. In reality, I would love to have this been like different flavors instead of just one single can. But they move out of the way, then we get the cracking open and the pouring in of a liquid sim. And because it was taking up a lot of space and time, I couldn't do a large liquid sim, so it cuts off a little early. But I was able to successfully create a liquid sim. However, there were some issues with the block appearing. This is called like the domain. The domain of the liquid sim kept appearing before the liquid sim would start, which made it look really ugly, and I had to find a way to like essentially snap it into place at the last second when it becomes invisible, which was kind of odd. And my takeaways from this is that, you know, you learn a lot faster when you set a goal. If you have something that you're trying to achieve, you work quicker versus if you're just fidgeting. By setting out to do the liquid sim and to do this flourish and all that, I did get to deal with a single can and kind of perfect that can as best I could. I worked in the graph editor, which I'm a little familiar with due to Adobe Premiere and editing. So I understood how to get that to work, but I wasn't super good at the easing in, easing out. I'm sure that motion could be smoother, better, tighter, however you want to describe it. But for that second shot with all the cans moving, that's where I learned the most, especially about the sizing of your camera and your props, with making sure you're not like getting too close too far, or in my experience, I had to shrink or grow that can in order to match the size of my emitter for my liquid sim, and I was kind of struggling with that. However, in the end, I created something I'm pretty happy with, because I can show you my first render was this attempt to make a CPU where I modeled the entire thing by myself and then had this really wonky camera go around it. And then this is my second one, and I think it's a vast improvement. I think that if there was a small company here in Louisville and they just wanted a stinger for like Instagram, I could charge for that, and it'd be an easy way for them to get some nice little things to toss into their feed. But I wouldn't go selling this to anybody larger than a local company who wants something for social media. I don't think it's screen ready in any way, shape, or form, but I'm very happy with what I did, and I learned a lot. So if you enjoyed watching this, let me know in the comments down below, and thank you all for taking your time to try to learn with me. I appreciate it. Peace.